Congratulations to you. What is your job title?
Junior DevOps System Engineer
Okay.
is what they consider it as, for the most part.
Junior DevOps System Engineer.
Correct.
And the salary.
They had posted it for, I think, 45 to 67. But the fact of the matter, I was feeling very confident. I was like, I wanted to be my first one, my first job to be six figure. So
Mhm.
I went ahead and told them, hey, honestly, I love what you guys do. I love the company. But I've always said, for whatever job that I do next, it has to be at least six figure. And he was like, if I can meet you exactly at that six figure, would you, at that 100,000, would you be willing for us to move forward to the interview process? I said, yeah, let's. And then I was like, all right, cool. I can definitely make that happen for you.
Awesome. So tell me a little bit how you find yourself in class and your background and how did you study? How did you get yourself where you are today?
Man, yes, 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 yes. So to be quite honest, my background itself was sales. I had no real technical background whatsoever. And I remember I was in the dealership, and I forgot it was my sister's friend who was actually I think he was a nurse. And then he was like, he's tired of working at the hospital. He's like, man, I'm doing this course with with this guy. Is for DevOps or whatever and everything. And man, I think you should try it. And for me, I was looking for that exit already. So it was just like, all right, cool. As soon as he told me about it, I literally went on your website, started looking into it, and then he was telling me how good you teach and everything else. And I was just like, all right, that is all that I need.
Yeah.
And then I went ahead and I signed up. And I remember when I first started, I was like, oh my God, I have, no technical background. And I know a lot of the people in the class, some of them already had it. But then in my head, I was like, all right, cool. The one thing that I know is my work ethics.
Mhm.
So it was more like, all right, I was just studying. I was watching every single video that you put, every live session that we had. I would literally finish it the day, and then the next day before the next class, I was kind of like try to watch it again, just so I could kind of like get my head to be wrapped up around everything that you're talking, because that honestly is what really made me feel so confident when it came to the idea of doing interviews and everything else.
So you literally repeat the whole class,
Yeah.
like the whole 3 hours and something videos.
In my mind, my thing was, this is what I wanted. I wanted that exit, and then it was all right. Whatever it takes, that's what I will do. So on the Monday, I would do the class, and then Tuesday morning, I would watch the session that I just came from, and then after that, at Tuesday afternoon, I would be doing the second session.
Wow. Yes. So
And thank you, to not to cut you off. Thank you to everybody that's in the congratulation. I very much appreciate it. Thank you.
yes. So now, what is your background though? You say your background is not IT. What is your background?
My background itself was sales. I've done a lot of sales, starting from just, being in the car salesman. Really, that's really where it all started. I mean, did a little bit of kind of like a bartending as well,
Hmm.
but for the most part, zero technical background. And like I said, it was kind of scary at first, because I'm like, all right, I'm not even sure what I'm getting into. But
Okay.
you know, but
Okay.
like I said, the way you explain everything, and I think I was telling my sister that I'm like, man, a kid could come to the class and get a job, because because you make it so, like, I'm being serious. It's like you make it so easy to understand. You break everything down, and and that itself gave the confidence to just be like, all right, like, you make it seems like anybody could do it, and which is really true, because once I saw that, I was like, all right, cool. You have nothing to worry about. You just gotta literally practice everything
Follow the
that's
steps.
being done.
Yeah, follow the steps. To prepare for interview, at what point did you feel like you could apply?
There was a week that you had introduced the kind of like the steps for the interview process, or kind of like the different recruiters that we were gonna meet and everything else. And
Mhm.
at that moment, I was like, all right, it doesn't hurt for me to just put my feet in the door and see what to expect.
Yeah.
So I literally came from that, and then I just started studying these videos like a hawk. I was like, all right, now I need to find out the different recruiters I'm going to talk to, how to talk to the hiring manager, when it comes to the technical round, what to expect. And I think maybe I had told you I got humbled by one of the interviews, and they seek for me on LinkedIn, where it was a site reliability engineer, but they were requiring so much more experience. But within that, it was just, I felt the idea of just like, I felt so confident doing it, because I was like, all right, I must say what I know, because I can only give that. You know what I mean? So at that point, I did that, and then that gave me kind of like a learning curve of like, all right, here's what you know, here's what you need to learn.
Yeah.
So then I went in and then started going back and learning some of the stuff that that maybe it was probably like month one and everything else when it comes to Linux and everything else. So then at that point, I just kept going, and then before you know it, it was
Yeah.
it was there.
How important was the material in week 25 for your interview?
Prof, I will be honest. If there is anything, I mean, if anybody gonna take any advice from me, those materials are like gold. I'm talking about gold, because what it does, it prep you for an interview before you even get to the interview. And I remember when I first saw it, I was like, oh, like I was shocked, because I'm like, okay, like just after watching it one time, I felt like I was ready for for a senior role. And that was one time, and then from there on out, I just kept watching it. I just kept watching it, so I could get everything imprinted into kind of like my subconscious mind and my brain, just so I could literally be able to talk about it. But that week 25 material was everything.
Awesome.
Whatever it is that you're doing in life, you got to be so open to the rejection in order to get to the level you need to get to, because nothing happens without those rejections. And realistically, looking at it in hindsight, Prof, is that almost every single interview that I did prior to this one, it kind of prepped me to get me ready to the next interview.
The right one. Yes. So how many rounds was this interview?
Honestly, if we're counting the recruiter, I would say four,
Uh-huh.
but in all reality, it was three, because after I did the first one was the recruiter, the second one was the hiring manager, and then the third one was with two of the team members, and then there was supposed to be a fourth one. And I'm not gonna lie to you, the fourth one got canceled, and I was scared out of my mind. I said, "Oh my God, I can't believe I bombed this junior role." Because and here's the other thing about it. I felt like, when I said I felt so confident, I felt so confident going through the first and the second and the third round, because I was like, okay, there is nothing they could ask me that I feel like that you didn't teach already, and that's really what it was. So when the third interview just got canceled, I was like, oh my God, was it my hair? Like, was it because I was black? Like, I was questioning everything. Everything was being questioned at that moment. And then I was like, all right, you know what? It is what it is.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the drawing board and go back to learning and everything else. And then maybe the last interview was supposed to be on a Friday. So
Mhm.
then I had to basically went the whole weekend questioning what it is, because I had no contact with nobody. And then the next Monday, they contacted me and say, hey, you know what, we want to move forward. uh we want to move forward with you, but for the most part, you have to make sure that you pass the background screening. And
Mhm.
once the background screening is over with, we will send you that that offer letter. And that itself brought a little bit of scare too. But in the end, everything worked out so great, where it's like it wasn't no headache, and it was awesome.
Is this job remote or on site? That's somebody's question in the chat. Yeah, you know.
Okay, yeah, it's fully remote, Prof. It's I can stay home and get to work out and everything else. So I'm talking about, it's great, man. It's great.
Good. So somebody's asking here, what degree did you put on your resume, Johnny?
When it came to degrees, I mean, I stick with my normal kind of like school degree that I did in college, which was just literal an associate degree, which I realized it's not anything that they really focus too much on.
Yeah.
So it's like you give the right material, you give the right information. It's just a matter, if you follow the procedure, you're it's gold.
Hey, thank you, John.